Good morning. Good morning, everyone. This is the Abundance Book Club Live. We have been reading The Audacity to Be Queen for the month of December. These conversations are always pulled from the books that we are reading, expounding on them. If you are not reading this book with us, I highly encourage you to. It is so amazing. Vicki Root is with me this morning. Good morning, Vicki.
Good morning. It is audacious, bodacious, all of the aciouses.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So, yes, audacity. Oh my goodness, loving that word so much, loving the energy of it because it isn't, it feels like a bit in your face. It feels a bit like, but it really isn't. It is in our own face, right? Like it's kind of
Yeah.
getting in our own face a little bit and saying, wake up, mama, right? Like, what you doing? It's getting in our
Yeah.
own face.
Yeah. Get it, girl. Like, totally.
Yeah.
It's a very big word. It's a visceral word almost, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's juicy. I feel it like kind of down my spine and across my shoulders. Like, yeah, yeah. It gets to infuse. There's another word. We talk about making coffee in the morning. What's the word, right? Like it gets to infuse our bodies. Yeah,
Percolate.
percolate. Get in there. It's a good word. Such a good word. Okay. Well, what we're going to be talking about today is choosing to be queen of our own lives and what that really means. So we get to have fun diving into that today. So if you're just joining us, grab the book. We'll be reading it for the remainder of the month of December. We are going to be shifting our live schedule just a little bit. We'll still be here at 10 a.m. Eastern time, so that will not change. But we're going to be here Monday through Thursday, and we are going to take a week at the end of the month for some quiet time and getting our next book. We'll make sure that you're prepared for that as well, so you can grab the next book with us, because all of the books we read are on up leveling and growing together. It is on abundance. It is on wealth, and really powerfully stepping into what it is that we're here to create in the world, what each of us individually are here to create in the world. So join us. It's so fun. All right. The topic today, again, like I said, it's really about that queen archetype. She talks about so many archetypes, and I can relate to all of them. She talks about the saboteur. She talks about the princess. Oh my gosh, so many that I'm like, oh, yep, done that. Yep, been there. Still today. This is another piece that we get to talk into, is how we never arrive. We choose to step into our queenhood. We choose to be all of the things. We choose to show up, and we never arrive. And today it hit me. Of course, we never arrive. That would be like having this amazing workout where we get the perfect body and we're stage ready. And then all of a sudden we go, I did it. I'm done. I never have to go to the gym again. Right? So there's never an arriving.
Well, and I think the arriving is in the doing, right? So like maybe the arriving is different than what we think it is. Maybe it's like not having the perfect body. Maybe it's like loving ourselves enough to create the perfect body and having fun doing it. I don't know. This is just
owning the imperfections, being consistent with moving towards everything that we want to create, reaching towards that next level, always, whatever it is for us. Yeah. Absolutely. Okay.
And enjoying our results too, though. So to your point, though, there is something about when you reach this level, like we also get to celebrate it and be in it and enjoy it and like choose to enjoy it.
Yeah. And when you say this level, let's just all be clear that level is whatever the level is that you're currently like reaching for. There's always a next level. So whatever that level is, to like pause and celebrate. I used to be the worst person for pausing and celebrating. And I think it's the entrepreneur mind. We have this thing where it's like, okay, what's next? Okay, what's next? Okay, what's next? And we're just, moving forward, checking boxes, creating. And if we don't pause and celebrate and enjoy every step along the way, it becomes drudgerous, monotonous, heavy.
Well, and then
Why am I
then
doing it?
I don't think the results, like, I think when I'm doing it that way, when it's like, ugh, it doesn't matter what comes of it because I'm just not in it. I'm not, my heart's not in it, or yeah, it's this.
Yeah. The results aren't quite the same. We don't quite get the results that we could get when we pause and really celebrate. Yeah, absolutely. So identity, embodying, and choice were the three words that I wrote down around queenhood, right? Choosing whatever it is, the next level. So we're just using that as the example from this book. Identity, embodying, and choice. And what comes up for me around identity is how we identify is how we show up. How we identify creates what we do, which creates our results. And so really, and stepping into a new identity, if we have not embodied the identity of queen, takes practice. It takes choosing over and over and over to be that identity that we are that identity.
Right. So you're saying choosing the identity of being queen, choosing the identity, whether it's queen for you or whatever word, right, is landing for you, but choosing that. I guess here's my question to you. Is it choosing that queen is my next level and I get to choose to be identifying with the queen in me?
Yes. And so here's something I hear a lot of people do. And I think it's really important that we pause and hear our words, right? Because when I say I get to choose this, it's still something in front of me. It's still the thing out there that I am like aware of. And we're going to talk about the difference between embodying as well, because it fits into the same space, but it's the thing out there that I still have yet to do.
Instead of being it already.
Well, instead of in this moment, I choose it now. I am choosing to be queen. I choose to be queen. I am the queen of my life, right? And queen is a word that encompasses so many words. And I think it's really valuable to take actually individual words, especially if that queen doesn't land. Because I know for me, it did not for a long time. The word queen did not land. This book has really supported with that. So using individual words, right? I am grace and power combined, right? I am loving. I am generous. I am clear. I think it's a big one for a lot of people. I know it was for me for a long time, right? So choosing it now and being it, right? So our words are powerful, not because they're right or wrong, but because they give us they help allow us to like kind of lift the lid and go, what's going on in there? And it's a mirror for what we think and what we believe. So yes, throwing things around. Yes, we get to, and being aware of, I'm choosing it.
Yeah.
It's the power of choice. I choose it.
Every minute, does this serve me? Is this serving me?
Yeah. And, back to the embodying piece, right? It's so easy to read a book and go, yes, 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 yes. Oh my goodness, this is so good. Yes. And we're in the knowing, like, I know this is truth. And then we go out and we go through life and we do things that we know are not going to serve us. And we go, why? I know this stuff. I've learned it. I've listened to it. I agree. Like, I get it. Like, in my head belief, I'm in alignment with all of these truths. So why am I not creating it in my life? And the embodying or the becoming and being of it takes practice. There's nothing else that will get it there. We can read forever. We can understand it all day. We can truly believe it, know it to be true. But until we have been in the practice of it, pausing in those moments, seeing where we get to show up differently or practice being bold and audacious, right? Practice being whatever it is that we're saying, yes, I am this. It is in that, lifting the weight at the gym, right? It's in that practice and in that repetition that we embody it and we become it. And there is always a next level of it. So we do get to continue to embody it. But instead of being in self beat up or frustration or, reading more books, I love reading books, so I'm not against that. But instead of, finding our solutions there, we won't find our solutions there. We will only find it in the moment to moment when we're in practice of it.
Well, and there's such an important piece of feeling into it, because intellectually I know a lot of things and I have a lot of concepts wrapped up into that, and there's a lot of tools that I have to choose from, right? But until I am in a moment, for me, I can think of when I'm in a moment that it's uncomfortable, that I'm coming up against should I be audacious or should I be powerful or whatever it is, right? It's in that moment of practicing, and maybe I will fall on my face. It won't land. It'll be silly. And that's okay too, because think about when you first learned how to ride a bike.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ride a bike perfectly the first time you got on? No. Right? It's all about the balance and about feeling it. And I think that's such a good example, because it's that feeling of, oh, this is when I can let go. This is when I can go forward, and when you feel it in your body and you practice it, which is why this practice piece that you keep talking about is so important. You'll feel it start to click. You'll feel it start to, oh yeah, this is what it feels like. Because it can't just, when it's just up here for me personally, when it's just up here, I can think I'm doing it all day long, but unless I just let go and be it, there's so much freedom in trying it out and stumbling and getting back up and trying it again. So I encourage myself when I'm trying on something new that it's going to be okay, and it's okay if I do it messy.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love that you said feeling into it, because that is a way to practice it even when we're not in a moment, right, with someone else or in front of someone else. We can feel into it and be in the practice of it in our own space, right? In our own, whatever we're going about throughout the day. So being in the practice of it doesn't have to be in a big bold moment in front of 10,000 people, and now I'm going to choose to be audacious. It does feel, it is in the moment when we're getting ready and we put on, the outfit that is bolder than we would normally put on, or, some wild and crazy shoes, or do our hair in, a way that just feels so us, but it feels bold and a little bit risky, right? So it is in those feeling into the moments and choosing
Powerfully. Yes.
Yeah. We do one of the exercises that I do in the abundance workshops is all around worthiness, and how worthiness is not a feeling that we wait till we have to choose the life that we want. It is getting that worthiness is a choice, that we choose that the life we want is worthy of us showing up to, and then choose to show up to it in the little ways and in the little moments, and every step builds upon the next until we create exactly what it is that we're here to create.
It's awesome when you get into that groove. It feels so good and so powerful and so easy. It feels easy when you get into that place that, oh yeah, I'm complicating this.
And we will always be seeing ways that we're complicating things. Even this morning, I said to Vicki, I said, I'm seeing how I'm complicating this thing. And yeah, it gets to be easy. Like, it doesn't have to be difficult. And we definitely can complicate things by choosing the hard way, choosing the way that, choosing to do things we don't want to do because we think we should do them. All kinds of ways we complicate it, don't we? Yeah, it does. It does feel easy, and it's joyful, and it's exciting, and it's fun, and it's all the things. And at the same time, there's challenges, and there's the hard, and there's the choosing through the hard, and there's tears, and You know, I feel like sometimes in the entrepreneur world, we see the shiny, like, I've arrived. Let me tell you how I did it. And it doesn't matter who you are, it doesn't matter what system you follow, it does not matter any of those things. We will go through the hard, we will go through the challenges, because that is where our perfect lessons lie.
And it just reminds me of the butterfly in the cocoon, right?
Mm.
It's the caterpillar literally turns into mush, right? It
Yep.
turns into mush, and then it gets stronger, and it grows. And if someone else, if it came easy and the butterfly just flew out, came out of there, it wouldn't be able to fly. It has to go through the hard times to practice, to build that muscle, to do all those things so it can fly and be beautiful and free and enjoy the process of becoming.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. As soon as someone lets that butterfly out, that butterfly will never fly. It is only through the struggle that it becomes the strong butterfly that can, fly the distances they do.
Yeah.
And, in those struggles, I'm speaking for myself, and I'm sure that it will resonate for a lot of people, which is why I'm sharing it. In those struggles, the question comes up, like, is this really going somewhere? Is this really, am I, I'm ready for the fight, right? I'm ready, not the fight like I'm fighting something, but I'm ready to, like, dig deep. I'm ready to, pull out the grit and move through this. But is it getting me somewhere, right? That is the question for me that was always the hardest, that has always been the hardest. And still comes out in the times of struggle. Of course, I can look back and say, oh yeah, it's always got me somewhere. I get to trust that this is teaching me something as well, and has a purpose, and will actually forward me. But that is the challenge, is, okay, I am strong, I am ready, I am willing. And we dig deep, but there's always that question of, am I doing it for the reason that I believe is behind this? And that is that I'm going to actually move into creating all of the things that I'm here to create. And yes, the answer is yes, right? Not that I'm here to, like, give answers or anything like that, or be a solution. I love being in the curiosity. I love creating the question that allows us to discover whatever it is for each of us individually, because we're all so unique. And what I know to be true is that it is exactly the lesson that life is giving us, that source is giving us, that, that moment is giving us, so that we have the skills, we have the knowledge, we have something that we didn't understand before, because that was the practice of it, that forwards us into everything that we're here to create.
Yeah, it's one stepping stone into another direction sometimes, right? So sometimes the learning lesson isn't what we thought it would be. My experience is sometimes I stumble into something and it just doesn't work out, and it opens up either something inside me, something outside of me. I am seeing differently, because a lot of times when I'm in that tunnel vision of, okay, this is I'm heading to this place, and it's very clear. When I'm able to kind of open that up, like I have the lighthouse, the lighthouse has a big reach and one thing that we're going towards, right? So when I'm opening it up and allowing each of those moments to create something new, if I allow it, instead of getting all tense and I'm not becoming, I'm not being it, judging. So I don't know.
Haven't arrived.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
Most times most of the wonderful things that have happened in my life, period, have been the ones that I was not planning on, where I was going towards one direction, and all of a sudden this other thing comes up, and it's so incredible that I get those skills that I learned on the way there have really served me in that next level.
Yeah. So just a reminder for us all that no matter where you are, no matter where we are on the path that we're meant to be on. Keep going. Right where you are is perfect. You're right where are meant to be, where you were meant to be. And yeah, keep walking, keep going, keep walking the path. And lock arms. Lock arms with people that will stand with you, that will see you, that will hold you high, that will encourage you and also help you to see things that maybe you aren't seeing in a moment. In a moment
Right.
that's, does feel difficult.
People that can tell you where your blind spots are the best kind of people.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. All right. We're going to let you